Alright, YouTube. I'm going to bring you along for a little troubleshooting here. I have an issue on this E92. It's a 09 335i BMW with about 100,000 miles on it. I'm having an issue where the power will just kind of die. Not while I'm driving, I haven't had that happen yet. But I have had where as soon as I get somewhere, I go to take the key out and the key won't come out and all the power's gone. No clue what's causing it. I've also come out to the car and I've had it be completely dead. Nothing works, no lights, doors won't unlock, key fob won't unlock. So I'm going to kind of take you through my process of troubleshooting this. Hopefully I get it figured out at some point. But one thing I can say is I don't think it's the key fob that's causing it. I know some people say, the key fob battery might be dead. Check the key fob battery. It's not the key fob battery. With no power whatsoever, I can actually unlock the trunk, go through, use my multimeter, check the battery, and it checks out just fine. I've got the multimeter back here. Actually, I already checked it. The power was off for a second ago, but then it just kind of decided to come back on, so I moved the car into the garage to get out of the wind because it's stupid windy today, and I figured you probably didn't want to listen to wind the whole time. So first thing I'm going to do, just to start with the easiest stuff first, I'm just going to actually try tightening all the items here in the battery and see if I can get that to work. Maybe I've got a loose connection in here and it's just kind of losing connection here and there. As you can see so far, those two are both good. 12.55, 12.55. So this, and this are all good as far as I can tell. Let's try this guy down here. Also good. So I think this is the main one that goes to the engine, which I don't believe it is going to be that guy because all the power comes off. I don't have the issue where everybody gets where there's power but your car doesn't start. Now that's not what I'm getting. So if that's what you're getting, it's something different. What I am getting is all the power just kind of goes off. Key gets stuck, and that sort of thing. So I believe I'm looking at one of the other connectors, which is probably, I think it is this guy right here. This one I think is the main culprit for those type of issues, because this is the one that goes to the glove box. Now I was told by the dealership that I had the recall done, and I took my car in for it, but some things happened. I got nicked by a UPS truck. Never really got fixed properly. As you can see, the paint splitting right here. Absolutely terrible job. Don't ever go to GW & Sons if you live in Oklahoma City. And so I don't know if they ever actually got around to doing it. I had them check when I went in for the steering wheel recall, and I asked them to check. They said, "Oh yeah, we'll check." I said, "No, I want you to look at it." They said, "Oh yeah, we'll look at it." I have no evidence that they even looked at it, so I think they just made the assumption again. So as of right now, if you notice, my IBS sensor cable is unplugged. The first time I had this issue, I had no power whatsoever. I came out, was trying to go to work, car wouldn't do anything. I unplugged this, everything came on. I was like, okay, sweet. So I don't know if maybe I jostled this connector right here, which this is actually kind of loose. I found out just a second ago while playing around back here. So I'm hoping it's just a loose battery cable or battery connection right there. But the IBS cable is going to be more for, from what I've read and understand, is more for the I have power but my car won't start issue. So I think it just stops it from starting because you don't have enough power for some reason. I'm not real sure on the IBS system here. But I know there's something similar over on the positive side, which again, I don't think it's my issue, but I just wanted to kind of point out over here on this side right here. I don't know if I can get down in there so you can see it properly, but I know that there is a similar kind of, not necessarily a fuse, but kind of like a glass breakage deal that'll pop out if you're in an accident. I haven't been in an accident, and I can't really get in there far enough. You can see it. There's a tiny bit of a gap in there, but it's not bad. So, I mean, that's a possibility. I may take a look at that a little bit longer, a little bit more, if I can't fix it with some of these other means. So, I'm going to cut out now to go get some tools to tighten this down. And then from there, we're going to go to the glove box next, and then we'll go underneath the actual engine, the air filter cowling. I want to take that off, get to the DME, play with those cables, because I have had some weird loose cable issues in there before. So we're going to take a look at that. Alright, so that is a little bit loose. Ha, accidentally got my multimeter stuck there. Yeah, look at that thing move. I don't think it's supposed to move like that. Let's just hope it's something so stupid and so simple. Although, as we all know, it never is. Okay, that's pretty freaking tight. So I'm actually going to plug my IBS sensor back in. I don't know of a good reason to have it unplugged. As far as I can tell, my IBS is okay. So we'll leave that in case I need to come back to that. Put all my little caps down. Actually, you know what? I was going to check these as well. Actually. Okay, so these are 13. That one was pretty tight. Also pretty tight. So I'm not thinking those are an issue. This cable is all kind of crimped and bent up and stuff like that. Not sure what that goes to. I might need to look that up a little bit, but I know there's been some grounding issues and some corrosion down there. I don't have any kind of water. I know people have talked about having water and corrosion there. I don't have that problem, so I'm going to disregard that and go from there. And now we're going to try to get the car to fail again, really. These, by the way, were 13s, both of these, in case you need to know and I didn't say. Here's the original cable. So I can tell they definitely didn't do this side of the cable, but from what I understand, they splice in at the glove box. So that's what I'm going to check after I see if I can get the car to mimic what it was doing. Okay, so obviously right now I have power. I can hear it making noises. Okay, definitely have power. If you notice, my clock is not set. It was set before I got home. Set time and date. Yeah, so there's that again. So I'm going to go ahead and set it just so yeah, it's saying battery is disconnected. So we're going to set the time and date. That way next time hopefully it'll let me know if it happened again by clearing the time and date. So settings. This would help if you could see it. Time and date. No clue what time it is because I use my phone for that and I'm on my phone. So I'm just going to pick a time. I'm guessing it's around 4:45. We'll go with that. That seems decent enough. And we'll just, the date's still right because I set it this morning. Alright, so we'll use that for our troubleshooting. Start it up a little bit. Let the car shake a little bit. It's still warm, so I'm not getting a lot of jumping on the needle on the tachometer. The other thing I also noticed, I always leave it on here so I can tell just how close I am to running out of gas. which I need to get gas. But that'll always reset back to nothing there, where the 48 miles left is. Okay. Of course it's going to work fine. Usually what would happen is it would look like this, but without any kind of lights whatsoever, and the key would get stuck. You wouldn't have any of those surround lights around the speedometer or tachometer. None of that. So my key is stuck right now. There we go. Well, I really hope it was as simple as a loose ground connection. That would be awesome. Still shows the 48 miles, and the clock is good. So it is holding. We'll say I've got a radar detector, and I have it set for voltage. So I'm showing 12.7. It's not really showing it very well. 12.9. Stable at 12.9. Usually it ranges around a lot, depending on what I'm doing. It'll go up to like 13.2 or so. I think it runs mainly off of the alternator after the car starts. One thing I will say is whenever I do start the car, typically it's low volt and it'll actually kill the passport. It'll be like 10 volts for whatever reason, and that's pretty common. It's been doing that for a very long time. I even went through getting a new alternator, voltage regulator, battery about 10,000 miles ago or so for some other issues I was having, and it did it before and it did it after, but now the actual voltage on the radar is showing up higher. It used to be like in the 11s, so I know I used to have a bad battery and needed to be replaced. So and I know I had a bad alternator in the end, so I think this is okay. I'll try turning it off now that we've ran it for a second. Seems to be fine. Yes, there it is, 10.8. So it drops down whenever I start it up, and that could just be because the car needs a lot of voltage to start, maybe. It goes up pretty quick. Let me give the alternator some juice. Alright, so far it seems to be working fine, but it may be if it's a loose connection, like in the glove box, the normal glove box issue you have, it may need to be jostled around while driving in order for it to trigger. So I'm going to go ahead, pull the glove box out while I've got some time here. I don't feel like getting stuck at work or stuck, not being able to go to work, etc. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it here, clean up all this junk out of my front seat, and then I'll come back to you. Alright, and we are back. I am on the passenger side. Got a couple of tools here. Got a bunch of Torx bits. Torx, E. Not exactly sure what I need, but I'm going to mess with it. Got some trim tools here. So I'll be able to take this trim off, hopefully without marring it up. I absolutely hate marring stuff, so hopefully it'll be good. I'm going to try to just see if I can get in here and get enough stuff off. Twist this off, twist this, and that falls down. To see exactly where this red cable is that everybody wiggles to get their car going again. Okay, I guess I can kind of see it. I need a light. Let's see if I've got a light. It looks like it's back off there to the right. Got a little light here. There we go. Alright, so I can see a cable. So hopefully I don't have to take all this off. I can just see if this has been replaced. It's very uncomfortable seating. I can do this with one hand. So I see a part number on it. Looks to have some dust on it. I guess this would have been done about 2 years or so. I wonder if I can get the part number off. It goes down below. Wondering where they would have actually spliced in the other one. Because that goes around to the back side. I think it goes around somewhere there maybe? And I will say there's where I've got my radar plugged into. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know what fuse that is. But I've just got a little tap on there. And that's how I've got that going. I have it run up through the top here. Through that right there, over to here, and then drop down. So, in case you're wondering. I think if I have a fuse tester, I could always just test my fuses. But if the fuses run out, I don't think it would come back on. There's some relays, so a relay could just be working funky. I don't see anything that looks loose per se. I don't see any signs of anything melting or anything. So that's good. Alright, so let's see if we can get this stuff underneath here off without having to pull off the entire glove box to see if we can tell if there's been a splice on this cable back there. Again, there's the cable, it goes down. And should be going somewhere over here. You can see the, that's so close. Corner there. I'm guessing these are all push pins or whatever. So I'm going to try to get these off. Oh, that one came off pretty easy. Didn't sound good. And the clip came off. I don't know where it went. Oh, there's a fuse in there. That's cool. No clue why there's a fuse in there. Huh. Alright. So looking at it, I would definitely say that looks like somebody has spliced it in. So I believe we're good on that. Okay, so that's probably not our problem, but that definitely looks spliced into me. So we're gonna assume that's not our problem now. So let's see if I can get this back on. Okay, so the plastic clip on this guy right here, of course, did not come out properly. So, I've got these I haven't gotten to use yet. Got one of them right there. I got one of these. I got this. I'm curious to use this thing. I don't know how well it's showing up. Maybe get the light behind it. But it gets behind the clip and then just pops it up. Got these off of Amazon. They're not expensive. Let's see if it works. Oh, like a charm. That is awesome. Alright, I recommend these. So let's put the clip back on the top piece. Figure out how it goes in. Channel here. It goes from this side actually. Alright, there we go. So now this goes in here somewhere. It's moderately adjustable. There we go, it's lined up. The second one doesn't feel right, so now I'm guessing the second one popped out as well. Okay, yeah, that one's still stuck in the bottom. That one's also stuck in the bottom. All right, so they're both stuck underneath. Let's use my fancy new tool again. Pops it right out, no problems. I'm pretty much to pull this whole trim piece off. Okay, so for the record, this fancy felt part goes underneath here. It doesn't go above it. That makes things so much easier. Oh, I wish I'd have watched a YouTube video on this or something. All right, fucking forever later, it's back in. Now that I know how to do it, it really wasn't that bad. This goes above this. This goes underneath this. That made things so much simpler. This goes underneath this, and then you just slide it up. All right. So our next spot, I hate to take all this crap out, but I'm going to take all this out, and I'm going to look in here again, see if I see anything loose. Okay, and I'm back. So I pulled this off. This is where electronics for the engine are. You've got a couple connectors on here. One in the back, one on the side, one on the front. And one back here, this one's supposed to be here. Mine's gone. No clue why. I got the car with only 17,000 miles, so that kind of bothers me that it's gone. So that means somebody was in here for some reason. Maybe they were doing a JB4, so I don't know. Something was in there. One trick I learned, you see these clips right here? It's better to pull these out than try to work it from above somehow. It looks like you can do some kind of above stuff, but I find just you pull these outward from underneath, and they work a lot better. This is pretty simple, as you can see. Lock, unlock. So you just slide this thing back and forth. This is another one with the little things in the bottom. Again, pull them out, pops right out. Alright, so into here. Now, whenever I did the valve cover gasket, I had some issues where I was just getting misfires all over the place. Wasn't sure what was going on. I thought, okay, well maybe there's some issues in here. One thing I did see, I don't know if you can see it very well, this wire right here has a bit of a pinch in it. I'm thinking when they put this back on, this corner right here, it might have got caught in there. That's what it looks like. I made sure that wasn't caught up. I looked around in here. I mean, nothing looks weird. I'm not sure what everything's supposed to look like, but when I had all those issues, I just went in here, I started moving these things around a little bit, make sure everything seemed connected. It did, but at the same time, it's good. Got it to go away just by messing around in here, so I don't know if maybe I've got a loose wire going somewhere, or who knows. I'm not even sure what all these connectors are. I guess I could go and try to Google every single freaking connector, but that's a lot of work. So I'm just going to mess around with them a little bit. This obviously looks like power. I got two big red cables. That's typically indicative of a power connector. guessing this is the DME underneath here. I don't even know how to get that out. There's some wires in the way. I don't see anything that looks like it's melted or anything. No clue how to get this guy out. The whole box is kind of loose. I don't know if it should be so freaking loose, but it is. So, yeah, just gonna mess with that, put this back together, and we'll drive it for a couple days and see what happens. And I will, yeah, that thing just pops right out, doesn't it? I don't feel like it should do that. Maybe it should. Who knows? Alright, I'll let you know if I figure anything out.